Hello, my name is Mcculloch and today I am talking about the effective ways of teaching that we use at the Educational Center Interclass. This is the second video in the whole series where we are going to explain what we actually do to make our teaching not only effective but also catching and engaging. Before I tell you some secrets of us, let me please examine the common ways of planning a lesson. What do we usually do? What are the teachers advised to do when they plan a lesson? Usually, the lesson is divided into 3 stages: presentation, practice, and production. These are often called the 3 P's of communicative teaching. At the presentation stage, students have to learn at least 7 items. At the practice stage, they do different activities, and at the production stage, they are engaged in speaking. In the end, it may be the end of the unit, or you may find it in the end at the back of the textbook. There will be a vocabulary list, there would be phrases to remember, and some grammar. We can't argue that this is a really engaging method of teaching, but actually it provides just the pieces of knowledge. It's like the puzzle, which you see the pieces, and the puzzle has to be completed by the student himself or herself. And much is up to the student. And usually, besides having really cool, funny and engaging classes, students don't get really much from them. How is our method different? Why do we use the different principles? Probably because if you remember how you start understanding something, you will see that you go through different stages. Like, let's imagine you come to a new city, or you enter a room which is entirely new to you. What will you remember? Will you remember the details, or will you remember the whole picture? And how long will it take you to remember the details? Will you be able to tell about all the details at once? Or you will be able to tell the details after a certain period? Probably the answer will be, at first you see the whole picture, and only then you start seeing the details. So the same idea was actually expressed by Mcculloch, who said that there are 4 stages of learning. They are impressing, memorization, initiation, and authorization. At the impressing stage, you just get the general idea of something. Then memorization stage comes, and it takes certain time to remember what you have to remember. And there will be the activities with which you will start to understand the details better. Like if we go back to the analogy with the city, you will see that to remember where the shops are and where certain plants grow and where you can rest, you do have to have some experience. So at the initiation stage, unfortunately, your brain will edit the neural net. The sad side of teaching is that not all brains are able to remember what we tell them. And there will be a moment when your brain will say, no, I don't need it. Maybe not your brain, but your student's brain. And finally, at the stage of authorization, you will start using the knowledge. So, if we go back to the idea of teaching in Interclass, we'll see that we follow the effective stages of learning. At first, we give the impression. The whole impression, we impress the students with any kind of a topic map. This is a big map and there are lots of words. The vocabulary is very vast. So probably here at once students will be able to remember just the categories and certain vocabulary units. Then, while doing different exercises, being engaged in different activities, we'll go through memorization stage. And the students will start remembering the details. They'll start seeing the details of the map. Unfortunately, there will be a moment when your brain won't need those details, but finally at the authorization stage, they will be able to use their knowledge without the support. So, if we talk about two popular methods or two popular ways of teaching, we'll see that usually at schools we are recommended to give the chunks of knowledge, to present them, to practice, and then to produce a very small part of the knowledge. In Interclass, we give the whole piece of knowledge. We give the whole idea, and then through the stages of memorization, through the games, through the interactive activities, we start seeing the details, we teach the details. We can understand that probably not all students will remember the details well, and finally, after a certain time, we'll start using this vocabulary and not vocabulary, and not only vocabulary. So, once again, these were the principles of our teaching, and the cornerstone principle, the basic principle is the stages of learning. Thank you.